Ah,
I
all
still
star.
can see
Look at
you.
that. Okay, perfect. I think it's recording. Okay, ready?
Okay, can you see me?
Is it?
And start, but I'm not going to go back to the other screen, so if you guys can mute yourself for the time being, because I don't know how to get there. So, okay, we're going to start. The reason why I wanted to start with a PowerPoint was basically before we start into the Picmonkey tutorial, because I want to touch base on the
She kind of unmuted.
on the basics of designing your own promotional material. So you guys have to start thinking that you're basically the head of your own advertising departments. So you have to start thinking that way, and you have to basically realize that you're promoting your own brand by sharing images of yourself, your family, your lifestyle, all of that. But we need to actually try and promote as best as possible so it's actually appealing to other people. And by doing that, we're going to learn a little bit today. Yes, about taking selfies, about your workout poses, food photography, and all that stuff. Because to me, it's very important that we start putting our best effort to try and get our images out there looking as professional as possible. So so as I mentioned before, so this all includes all of your selfies, your family photos, your lifestyle shots, and your lifestyle shots are going to be, you know, obviously working out, doing stuff that's active, things like that. So most important, and I know that you guys, this is common sense, but good lighting, the best option for good lighting is always natural light. So whenever you can get natural light, whenever you can go somewhere that there's an open window, I'm not saying you have to go outdoors, but literally that there's natural light, it's going to be more flattering, you're going to look better, it's going to look great. The next thing I wanted to touch base, and I don't know how many of you have it, do you guys have a tripod with a remote right now? What are you guys using? If you don't have anything right now, I highly suggest go to Amazon. It's super inexpensive. It's like under $15, and you can get a small tripod with a remote. The reason for this is obviously we're not going to have tons of people around. My husband sucks at taking photographs, so I'm not even going to bother asking him. I'm always going to have him do a retake. And so I just take my own. I have a selfie stick and I have a tripod, and I have the remote, the separate remotes, because sometimes since I'm putting on the tripod, some of the selfie sticks have an actual clicker on it. I like having the remote separate so I can use the tripod. Try and do as clear photos as you can. Another common sense thing, but the reason for this, that usually we're not getting clear photos, is because we're used to using the front-facing camera. Right now, I got super lucky. I upgraded to an LG G4. It has the best front-facing camera. It's awesome, but for the most part, they really have poor resolution. So even if you have to take a couple shots and use the rear-facing camera, which has probably on all of your smartphones a way higher resolution, try and do that and just try and take a couple extra shots. I know that you can't see where you are. I know you can't take your expression, but the actual clarity of your photos are going to be extremely, increase in quality. I want you guys to start being aware of your background. Look around. Remember, in your frame is what your customer base is seeing. So whatever's in your frame, I know that you guys are used to probably having walking over your kids' toys or whatever, having, whatever it is that you have back there. But remember, you're selling yourself here. So you kind of got to think of it as your very best self, where you're living clutter-free and lovely and whatever. But try and be aware of your background. Try, even if you have to move, the toys, what I do is, even if I have to move them like an extra foot away, even though they're there, but they're out of my shot, try and do that. Just be conscious when you're taking your pictures. And another thing that I wanted to mention, especially for all of you girls that are working out in your garages, I know Jeanette does, I know Christina does, I don't know how many others of you do, and obviously that's where you store everything. Think of maybe investing in some drop cloths. 2 drop cloths, 9 foot by 12 feet would cover everything. Don't do it. I'm going to criticize Becky for a second because she attempted it a little bit, but it's basically clipped on to her shelves, and you could still see everything anyways. So if you tack it on, if you have your husbands, have someone help you to actually nail it to the ceiling so it's actually hanging flat, and then you have a nice, you know, clutter-free, but also a white backdrop that you could then add textures to, you could add copy to whenever you're using it in the picture. Also, don't forget about just any plain wall that you have in your house as well, just for any selfies that you're taking, anything like that. And for the most part, when you guys are out and about, start thinking of really cool locations near you. You guys, for the most part, are in Miami, right? So, I mean, definitely the beach, definitely, you know, lakeside, poolside, anywhere like that that you can actually be, think of your, you know, a couple fitness poses from the workouts that you did. So then you actually have them as in, you know, as a library of already pictures that you've taken, you know, in because you're already dressed up in your workout gear. I'm illustrated here Christina's picture because I really like this one. I like it because although I know that she's working out in her garage at that point, I'm assuming, and that's another problem with the garage lighting is, for the most part, all of our garages have fluorescent lighting, which is never flattering for anybody because that fluorescent lighting is just not good. So I really like the fact that she did it in black and white, because usually the fluorescent lighting casts like a little yellowish, greenish glow on all of our skin tones. So basically the fact that it's black and white, it's really cool because you can't tell any of that. I really like the fact that obviously she looks great, but it's very clear, you know, the contrast is really good. And I like the font that she used. It goes along with the same, obviously Girl Boss. It's a nice strong font. It's not like a little swirly cursive font. So all of that is a really good an example of what to do. Moving on to the next one. And these are a couple examples of what I was just talking about. As you can see, for the most part, everything in the background is kind of like a neutral background. So the reason why I'm emphasizing this is because you don't want to detract from your message. All of you are obviously have something to say, and you want that message on your photographs. When we have so much stuff going on in the background, or it's a little fuzzy, or it's a little blurry, you're actually detracting from what you're trying to, you know, the message you're trying to give. So if you could tell in all of these, what they have in common is it's very clear fonts. The typeface is either in black or white, except for maybe a couple pops of color. And the pops of color is obviously to emphasize a specific word. For example, the young lady over here with Dumbbell Week, I like the fact that she did choose one of the Dumbbell Week to be in color, but she's actually coordinating it with the color of shirt that she has. For example, just so it doesn't clash, so it actually is like a nice tight color palette. And that's what you guys have to think about. It actually, you know, to look a little bit more professional, just try and stick to, you know, less colorful stuff. And I know most of us are using Photofy anyways, so it already comes with it, but obviously it either comes in black or white. And if you do need to change some of the colors, type it in yourself then. Type it in yourself. The same exact saying that you already saw in Photofy, but you could type it in yourself. Regarding when you're actually taking your photography, like when you guys are working out and everything like that, I know a lot of us are probably using timers, I think, when you guys are working out. And the problem with this one, I only use a couple of you guys' Facebook pages because I didn't have time to look at everybody's. But Christina's, for example, I wanted to point out on this one that I loved her message. I loved how she looked in the bottom one. But the only problem is that when she's obviously moving, because it's not a video, it's going to come out a little blurry, and with the timers. So once again, I want to see her like strong arm, and I want to see her looking hot and sexy. But if it's a little bit blurry, I'm not really getting that clear picture that I would love to see. So a suggestion is, when you guys are done with your workout, if you can remember a couple of the actual moves that you did, just take an extra 5 more minutes and use your tripod, use your remote, use the timer at that point, but just stop and take the picture. And it's, remember, you're selling yourself, okay? You already did your workout. It's not like you're cheating and lying, but now you actually have a clear picture that is actually a good, crisp, clear picture of yourself. And also, if you're out and about, like I told you, when you're outdoors, when you're really in a really cool scenario, whether it be a graffiti wall, would be something, as opposed to just taking a selfie. If you do want to do, a fitness pose, I've been keeping a reference of poses on my phones. I don't know. I am not a yoga expert. I don't know every yoga pose. I have horrible form. So pretty much, if I can keep a little reference of really cool plank moves or really cool yoga positions in which I know is going to be flattering to me, and and I'm actually going to look pretty good doing them, and I can actually hold the position pretty well. I keep a folder on my phone with some pictures that I've actually saved from Pinterest, from wherever, from Google, as a reference. And then that also gives you, a quick reference. Oh my God, I'm in this really cool spot. This would be a really cool shot to take. Let me, do a cool, quick pose. And you don't have to post it that second either. Take advantage of all of these pictures and have them handy for later. Also, again, with the selfie stick and the tripod, you can get these interesting angles. You don't have to be close up. You can actually stand a little bit away, set it up so you're actually further away from the camera so you can capture this cool scenery that you're trying to capture. I really like when Jeanette, for example, does her workout videos by the lake as opposed to, in her garage. I think that that's a really cool change of setting. It's, it's very appropriate for what she's doing. To move on, another thing that I want to touch base was vignettes. And what I'm calling a vignette is when you set up, maybe in a sets of threes, something really cute, something, we all do it when we go to restaurants and we take our picture of our plate with our little wine glass, and and we kind of put the menu so you can see, where you're at, and you kind of set it all up before you take the picture. Well, this is Amanda's picture down here with the champagne glass. And obviously, she set it up. Like, her champagne glass wasn't just coincidentally sitting there, on the program, while her hand and her beautiful ring was showing. She obviously set that up to tell a story. So when you guys are taking pictures of your Shakeology, for example, we're all taking pictures of our Shakeology, drinking our Shakeology all the time, but we can also start thinking, a little bit more creatively and start maybe putting this Shakeology, next to like our laptop, because we're working. Or if it's right after a workout, for example, I could take a picture of, if I'm doing Beachbody on Demand, Beachbody on Demand is on, my Shakeology is right next to it, and a couple weights. Yes, it's set up, and, but at least it tells a story. So it's not just a bottle of Shakeology just sitting there. Real quickly, we're going to, I'm going to pause here because then it's food. Does anyone have any questions so far? You can unmute yourselves. No? Okay. So moving on to food photography, which I did this also because I want to improve. We're taking all of this time to prepare these great, amazing meals. And what's cool about what we're doing is we're becoming advocates for obviously healthy, clean eating. But for the most part, people that are kind of hesitant to go all in is because they're thinking that what they're going to be eating is horrible and it's not going to be delicious, and forget it. They're not going to like it, and they can't possibly keep it up because it's not going to be completely yummy. So if we're already making these great, amazing meals, let's just take the time, to just set it up. It doesn't have to be every single day, but if you're really proud of one of your dishes and you really know that it tasted great, just to set it up a little bit better. I want you to just notice, obviously, our pictures are probably never going to come out as good as these, but just notice little things about these pictures. What I wanted you to notice was the fact that most of the plates or things that the food is set on is very neutral. It's either white plates or a really cool cutting board with a cool texture, but it's pretty much a neutral background. It also has a lot of, I'm going to call them accessories, but whether it be the herbs on the salmon on the bottom right, with a little bit of a dipping sauce, whether whether it be the limes, the little bit of rosemary on top of, I guess that's like a pork chop, I'm not sure, I mean a lamb chop. Things like that, the colander of blueberries next to the bowl of blueberries, that's pretty cool. The sauce next to that pizza, and even like the drizzle of balsamic over the asparagus. All of that is just to obviously make it a little bit more interesting. So just to recap, you don't have to buy a whole set of plates, just buy, a couple plates that you're going to kind of frequently use when you're photographing your pictures. Maybe a butcher block cutting board, some accessories that you guys could get, pepper mills, knives, herbs, lemons, sprigs, things like that. And remember, when you're putting the food on the plate, just to have like a pleasing composition. Obviously we're gonna not try to just pile everything on top of each other. You want everything to be seen. Oh, and this is where, again, good lighting is very essential. Whenever for the most part, almost never can take great pictures of my dinners because it's in my kitchen lighting. And my lunches come out awesome because I have the sliding glass door and it's really awesome lighting that's coming in through there. And I can totally tell the difference in this crispness and the vibrancy of color on my food just from the natural light versus the overhead light in my kitchen. So it's pretty interesting how much the natural light really improves your pictures. And also try and remove like anything, again, think of your background. Try and remove anything in the back. Half the time my kids' coloring books are all over my dining table, so I just kind of swoosh them a little bit to the right, and then I try and take my shot. And also try and interesting shots. I know that we usually all take the shot from the top, but another way, like just take 2 or 3 at different angles, and you'll see that kind of it's interesting, up close, down in the plate, closer down to the table. And just to give it a little bit more, I don't know, appeal. And this is another one. This one's another one that I saw on Amanda's page. I thought that the colors are really good. I like the fact that that font, for example, has that built-in white background, because if not, I think the font would have been lost. And just the 3 different colors, is really appealing. So we're gonna move on to ad layouts. As you know, everyone is using pretty much all the same ones on your phones. So jot these down if you are missing any of these. But I like, for the most part, Aviary, Photofy, and Pixlr are the main ones. The next 2, are some that I just use occasionally because I like their filters. Perfectly Clear is awesome. I pay for it, but I think it was like $1.99 or something. I love it because any of those shots that are a little bit too dark, Perfectly Clear will brighten it up, and not brighten it up in a washed out way. Brighten it up like literally like brighter and lighter. And Snapseed is one that I just recently found that I'm kind of playing with. That's cool. And for the computer apps, my favorite is still Picmonkey. It's like the bomb because it's the closest to Photoshop that I could find, and really user friendly, but you got to practice. So real quick, your composition in your ad layouts is pretty much what I want to emphasize. Is when I say composition, is how you're laying stuff out. And it should have balance, but it should more importantly have a clear message. What are you trying to say with this image? Always ask yourself this. What is it that you're trying to say? So instead of putting like 3 different quotes on there or things going on, just stick to one cute quote, one cute message, one main quote, and obviously it should match your image. Your font should also match your message as well. If you have beautiful in the sentence, the word beautiful, well then put it in a nice, cursive-y kind of flourished kind of font. But if you have something that says like strong, then, pick a nice, bold, thick font, to evoke that message and to, tie it all in. Another thing that I've been doing lately, and can you guys actually watch me in the screen, right? Yes? Right now? You can see me? Yes? Okay. So right now, usually I used to crop myself with space here and space here and space here. I've actually lately been cropping myself a little bit to the side. And the reason why I'm doing that is because all this area right here, you can use to put in your text and your message. If I'm in the center, it kind of leaves me only a little bit of space here and a little bit of space here to put in my message on my pictures. So just by cropping a little bit off and then adding my message here will leave me what I call white space to be able to, you know, not put like a message that's coming over my face or coming over my body or cutting across or making it too small just to make it fit. Does that make sense? You understand what I mean? Okay, so then try and keep on your ads, try and keep a tight color palette. And what I mean by a tight color palette is don't go crazy with your colors. Try and make it coordinated, I guess, with your image. Pick, you know, some colors out from maybe like that, the ad that we just saw, you know, the color of the font was picked out and matched to her shirt. But a tighter color palette will make it look more professional. And another thing that I want you guys to write down is in your ads, think of having a header, a body, and a call to action. This is very typical in most ads. As you look through magazines, they will have a header, which is a nice, big, bold statement. The body is basically, you know, the message that you're trying to give, and it's usually in a smaller font size. And your call to action is basically, what do you want these people to do? Do you want them to email you? Do you want them to go to your website? What do you want them to do? And don't forget to say it at the bottom. Like all of you guys that are, if you're doing a challenge ad, don't, even though you're going to put it in your Facebook thing and say, okay, message me if you want to know more information, don't forget to put at least your email address at the bottom of your ads. And that's basically your call to action. And say it, you know, email me at, call me at, you know, like go to my webpage to place your order, anything that you want to actually have them do. Another thing I wanted to say regarding your images, first, crop them. Do all of your adjusting of your exposure. Your exposure is your brightness, your darkness. Sharpen everything, especially if you're using that front-facing camera. Use the sharpening tool and adjust the contrast. That's going to help in crisping up your pictures. Then you add the filters. Oh, extra D. Then you add the filters, and then if you want, you can blur your background, but hopefully you won't need to blur your background anymore because you're going to be conscious of your backgrounds, right? So after all of that, you're going to import the edited image. After you did all of that, you're going to be doing all of that in an app that you like, that's user-friendly, that you like, you know, how the brightness works, that you like their sharpening, and then save it, and then you can import it into PhotoFi. I'm going to pause for a second and say, I know you guys that it seems like it's a lot of steps, but remember, you're not doing this to every single picture, okay? You're doing this to the pictures that you're going to write that personal story about, okay? You're going to do this to, you know, to the collage that you really have something meaningful to say. Not the ones that obviously it's like, oh, look, my kid is so cute, isn't he cute? And then, you know, you post it. Obviously, you know, you're still gonna be posting normal pictures like that. These are for the images and the pictures that you took time out to actually take, you know, that you took time out to, you know, again, that you chose a really cool scenery in the background. So these are the ones that you're going to take a little bit more time. Remember, you're your own advertising department. If you would send this to an advertising agency, they would work on that one ad for weeks and weeks and weeks with changes and everything. So even if you dedicate, you know, a half an hour to building and making it really appealing, it's really going to stand out when people are scrolling through through Facebook, and that's what you want, you know, you want to happen. So this is just an example of the things that I was telling you regarding I just wanted to show you the header, which would be believe you can and you will. So that's going to be the largest. Then join my 21-day challenge group today. That's basically going to be the body. And then I added the logos, obviously, which is fine. You can add the logos wherever you want. But more important, at the bottom left is my call to action. So that's where it says, email me, Coach Letty C, blah, blah, blah. Another thing that I want to touch base with is the lifestyle pictures. I've been looking through past pictures of stuff that actually I liked. I liked how the kids came out. This is just to save you time in the long run. You can recycle old pictures, especially if you're going to use them for something inspiring and motivational. So this is a picture of Amanda. She was at a wedding somewhere. And it happened, I don't know, I think in September or something, which is fine. But you can look back at old pictures, whether you were on a cruise, on a beach, you know, you were in a nice setting, but something, again, that's going to tie in to a message that you want to give, you know, a motivational and inspiring story that you're going to try and tell. So you can reuse, you know, older pictures, and actually, instead of using some random stranger and using their face on your motivational, you know, message, use your own. Obviously, you're your brand. You want to be putting yourself out there as much as possible. And so I just put a filter on her picture, and I added, you know, a quote, you know, from Buddha. So it was a real simple thing. But once again, these are pictures that you don't have to post the second that you do them. You can fix them. You can find them, you know, a picture from the past that actually is going to tie in with your message, and set it aside in a file. And then on another day that you were doing absolutely nothing inspirational that day, you have a catalog of pictures to draw from, you know, and ready to post, and they're ready to go. This is I don't know if Jessica's on here. Is Jessica on here? This is Jessica's picture. She took it, I think, in September as well. And this is something in which you can recycle as well. So she took it, and it was obviously based on a trip to Disney, but in September. But they're dressed up in Halloween costumes. So what I did is I quickly, you know, revamped it a little bit, and I added, and this is all in Picmonkey. They have an entire thing of comic book, like an entire theme of comic book that you could add all these crazy comic book things. I threw in one of their comic book filters. That's why they look drawn. And now she can reuse that picture that probably, you know, not every single person on Facebook saw the first time that she posted it, and she can reuse it now for Halloween. So this is an example of, you know, going to your past pictures that your entire family came out really cute, that you came out cute, that you took a selfie and you thought you looked awesomely hot that day, and reuse it for another day with a message. The collages, regarding collages, another thing is try and keep it to like 6 images or less, just so, again, it's not super cluttered. Try and have your images have the same feel or theme. Also, what I like to do is I like to keep in Photofy, you could do this. Let's say you import 6 images and 6 of them fill up all of the boxes. If you click, there's a little minus button on one of the top right boxes in Photofy. If you click it, it disappears the image. So even though you put in 6 pictures, you're actually going to remove one of them. So you could put whatever, pick whichever crappy one that you want, because you're going to take it out. And now you have a space, an open space that's just colored background that you can actually put type in. So then you don't have to worry about on your collage putting type on top of, which I'm going to show you real quick. I'm going to jump to the end. Okay, this is an example. So the middle one, as you see, that was basically another image. So what I did in the middle one that says inhale strength, I didn't have a space to put that message. It would have been lost on top of all of my movements. So instead, you just minus it and it takes it away. And now you have a nice open area that you could put whatever message that you want, and it's clutter-free and it's clear. So that's one example. Another thing that I like doing is I'll edit all of my images before, but I won't add a filter. I'll just edit because, let's say, the lighting or whatever is a little bit off and some of them are darker than others. I'll edit it first, but I don't add filters yet. Then after I'm completely done with the collage, I'll save it and reopen it again, because now it's basically flat. Most of these apps, every single time you hit the filter button, you have to filter one image at a time, which is very time consuming. And all of your filters might not match, or you'll forget which one you used on which image. So because you want a cohesive look, I'll save the collage. So that basically becomes, you know, a flat image. And then I'll reopen it again real quick, and then I'll apply the filter to it. And then that basically what that does is that the filter is going to hit all of the images on your collage all at once, and they're all going to get the same effect. And don't forget to change your borders and the thickness of your borders as well. Basically, some of you are just, you know, leaving it wide and leaving it the default thickness, but you can adjust all that. And again, use the border to your advantage. If you use a color that's matching stuff that's going on inside of your, you know, inside of your image. And real quick, this is kind of, whoops. This is an example then of Jessica's collages, and I just wanted to improve it just a little bit. The reason, where are you? You're here? Okay. So entonces, this is what I did, Jessie. So entonces, what I wanted to use was that on the left, the reason why that I'm using this is because it has 3 different messages going on. And obviously there's the black and white.
Too many, yeah, it was too busy.
So then the 3-day refresh has its own message up there, and it has its own colors over there. And then obviously the colors and the colored picture, you know, with your little boy also has its own colors and también. So entonces I just wanted to show you how the same message just translated.
It looks so much better.
And on the right, and this is what I'm talking about of having a tight color palette. So all you have to do is just basically, and I'll show you guys in Picmonkey, it actually has a dropper. It's a picture of a dropper, and it will pick up literally any color from the rest of your image and change your border, it'll change all that stuff.
This is my post, and she fixed it. Look at how much better hers looks. She's teaching us how to do it.
So entonces, and again, I changed this picture to black and white just so it wouldn't clash, you know, just so it wouldn't be just another colorful thing on the side. So I wanted basically to have the same message. I put Be a Warrior just like you had it, but I also then put it all on the left with the message, what is it you wanted to do, and more importantly, at the very bottom it said order yours, and it has your website on it. So it has the call to action. It's in white, it's little, but at least it has your call to action, and no one can use your thing now because you put a stamp on it. So if you guys are not going to start coming up with these really cool and creative ads, guess what? You know how many people are just like I stole all of these ads? Like,
oh, I know, me too.
So basically make it hard on people, you know, to not steal your hard work. So put your name on it, put your website on it, put your email address on it, and put it like in a spot that they would have to like crop everything out or blur it out or whatever to reuse. And these are just a couple of examples of the ones that I did. Again, the ones on the far left, that was Picmonkey. And I did all of that in Picmonkey, but I just wanted to show you the color palette. So the color palette, did you see?
Mm-hmm.
Karen? No. And then the one on the left is basically the color palette. I got the green directly from my shirt. The background of the green is directly from the shirt that I was wearing. And I only used 2 fonts, guys. That's another thing. Don't go font crazy and pick like 100 different fonts. I only used 2 fonts and stuck to those 2. And I think that's it. Okay. Are we on time? Okay. So let's go ahead and open up Picmonkey. And do all of you guys have your, oh my God. Great. The one thing I forgot to send you guys was this stupid graphic thing. Oh my gosh.
Email it. I just emailed myself all the images.
Yeah? How am I going to email it to all of you?
You can't send it to everybody all at once and have everybody's emails? Are you on Facebook at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone message her your email. Unless
No, but
Jeanette has us all.
no. But I could send it to Team. I'm gonna post it on Team Phoenix, and then you guys save it on your computer. Do you understand?
That'll work. Yeah, you could post the file. Add it. Yeah,
No,
add it to the file on Team Phoenix, the files. Add file.
no, it doesn't have to be. It's a picture. It's a just to do a save as. Gosh, I mean. Okay, all you guys have to do is open it. If you guys can go to Team Phoenix, open it and just literally hit save as on your computer. Because that's the overlay. Ay, qué calor tengo.
It's not coming up. Mierda. Of course, it doesn't post right away.
No?
No, the last message I see is the Zoom stuff. Invite you to our meeting.
There.
Let me back up and back out. See.
It's a colored grid.
All right, hang on. Oh, the grid that you had that you showed us?
No, but this one's just a colored grid with nothing on it.
There it is. I see it. Yes.
Okay.
Which I absolutely love.
What do we do?
And
Okay,
link.
just
It's a link.
Right
It's a link.
click on it. No, just right click on it. Open it. Like, click on the picture and then
open link in new tab.
Right click, save image as.
It comes out as a link. It says save link as.
No. Click on the picture.
Oh yeah, now it lets me save the image as.
And then you
colored grid. I have a file for this whole class.
Okay.
Colored grid. Okay. I had a really hard time. There are no white walls in any house that I attend. My in-laws. My son's room has a very light green wall, but the lighting in there stinks.
Oh.
So you're going to see my pictures. They're on the front porch of my in-laws' house because their front porch has a light background.
Okay. So, real quickly. Okay. Picmonkey is awesome, but you guys have to practice. You guys have to practice, and just play. And play like, do your kids' invitations on here for his parties. It's really cool. The top is basically, if you can see here, it says, obviously, edit, touch up, design, and collage. It is what it is.
Yes.
Edit is basically you're going to just edit a picture. Touching up is really cool because you can add makeup. You could take away your arrugas. It's awesome.
You can whiten your teeth.
You can no, honey. You could put mascara on you. If you didn't wear a lick of makeup, I can put an entire face of makeup on just through touch up.
I know. I have a hard time with the makeup part. Then
design is basically you're building your ads. This is where you're going to build your ads imagine from a piece of paper, and you're going to stack layers on top of it.
So where do you start? On design?
So right now we're going to start by first fixing. Remember, we're going to fix all of our pictures first. Okay?
Okay.
So we're going to go to edit, and I want you guys to go and find your picture.
Oh boy.
Okay, so find your picture, and you're going to hit open. Give me thumbs up or something when you guys, and if you guys want, you can unmute yourselves, but.
My picture's too narrow. Let me fix something else. Hold on.
Don't worry about it. We're going to crop or whatever. You can crop it.
No, it's cropped because I didn't have a totally solid background. I got to get the original.
Get the original because that's what I'm going to teach you how to do.
Okay. No, I have the original. It was on my phone. I have to email it all to myself.
Okay. So then basically, as you could tell, mine also has, an outlet por aquí. It has some darkness por aquí, all of that. So what
Yeah,
we're
the
gonna
shadows.
what we're gonna quickly do is I'm gonna teach you on the left as you hover. It's gonna show you what it is. Basic edits. That's where you're, the basic stuff that you're used to: sharpening, exposure, brightening, rotating. Under effects, that's where all of your filters are from. And these are the two that we're going to work with right now. Then after that, is the touch up, the font, the overlays, things like that. But right now, because we're short in time, just go and click effects. Okay.
I have a quick question.
Effects. Where's effects?
Over here on the left, far left.
Oh, there. Okay. Sorry.
One.
The wand.
Question?
Yes, I have a question.
Dime, Vanessa.
Okay, thank you. I had my daughter take the same picture of me, one with flash, one without. So one, I have the shadow behind me on the wall, a little bit different than yours. Like it looks like, there's another Vanessa behind me. Do I use that one or the one without the Vanessa behind me? But that one looks a little bit darker because it has no flash.
Okay. How's your face in the one that's a little bit darker? Because we're going to fix all that. Whichever one that your face is the clearest.
No, my face, I think, looks the same in both of them.
Oh, okay.
It's just on the white wall whether I have my silhouette or not.
Okay, so the one that's going to be easiest will probably be the one without the shadow for now. But as you can see, you'll be able to fix the one with the shadow later on when you get a little bit better. So what we're going to do is you're going to go all the way to the bottom of that effects. So scroll all the way to the bottom, and you'll see it says advanced. Okay, and this is the stuff that you guys wanted to learn. So advanced, you're going to have advanced. There's the two that I use all the time is curves and clone. Okay. Now, real quick, curves is basically going to brighten your picture, but you can spot brighten. Okay. So I'm going to click it, and this is going to come up. So what I'm going to do, okay, notice quickly where my mouse is. I'm going to adjust the brightness because I want this bottom area where there's shadows to be a little bit brighter, right? I want this area to match this area up here. Do you understand? So I'm going to move the curves up. Do you see how everything's lightening up?
Okay.
Okay. Now, that's pretty much, that's the lightness that I want, but now I'm washed out, right? So you're going to, on your menu, everyone has a pop-up menu that says paint on it? Your pop-up menu?
Yes.
Okay. Look at where it says reverse effect. Okay, click on reverse effect. And it's going to, after you got your lightness level where you wanted it, reverse effect takes it away, because now what we're going to do is adjust your brush size. We're going to paint it back, the brightness. Okay, so watch what I'm doing. Do you see what's happening? I'm lightening it up. How you saw everything light and bright? I'm lightening everything up at the bottom half of me. Is everyone seeing that? Yes? So basically, this is going to lighten everything up down here. Okay. So now that I got everything kind of in the same kind of tone,
it didn't
kind of
work.
play around with that? No?
It's too bright.
Okay, wait. If it's too bright, listen. To the left over here, there's a thing called fade, okay? Play around with the brightness. After you paint it over it, you can move fade left and right. And what fading is doing is the intensity of it. Make it more intense or less intense?
Oh, I like, and then you can apply it.
No, that's it. So it's done, and then you hit apply, okay? Now, another thing that I don't like is my outlet over here. See my outlet? Okay.
Yeah.
Your clone tool, we're going to use the clone tool. And the clone tool is basically a stamp. You're going to grab a piece and you're going to stamp it somewhere else. You're going to grab a piece from your image and you're going to stamp it somewhere else. So the clone tool, so wherever you see that little circle, you could adjust the brush size on the left. Wherever you see that little circle, that's where you're going to grab a chunk from your image and you're going to take it somewhere else. So
when I faded, the effects box went away.
if the effects box went away, hit the paintbrush there on the left.
Thank you.
So entonces, I'm going to click on this white area here. I'm going to click. I'm going to take away this box because it's driving me nuts. And then now, see where the solid circle is? I'm going to slowly take away that outlet. Okay. So I'm painting over the outlet. Did everyone see that? Okay, good. So then I'm going to hit source over here on the left again because I want to get a little bit of the dark part. And this works with if you have a logo on your shirt that you don't like and you want to take away the logo. If you have, again, I'm going to fix this part on the left over here with the same thing. So Jessica, for example, if you had stuff that was sticking out on the wall, you're going to grab from the white part of your wall and you're going to stamp it over whatever thing that you said that was sticking out.
So hold on. So I'm going to grab clone and I'm going to and put it
So
here.
you're first going to pick the lightest part of your wall.
I'm trying.
Or not even the lightest, the nearest, the part that had nothing on it, that was nearest to whatever it is that you have on it, I guess.
The problem that happens is that it's an opening. Here, the picture that I'm working with it's on the front porch. So part of it's outside and part of it is that actual wall. I want to clone the wall and make it match where there's an opening to the outside.
Right, that's what you want to do.
That's what I'm trying to do.
But you can make the brush bigger, the brush size, so your stamp is like a bigger size stamp. And then right now, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take away all of my baseboard and my carpet because I don't like that either.
Yeah, that's what I had a hard time doing it inside the house for that same reason.
So entonces here, I'm just moving. I'm bringing the white that was on the wall all the way down. Again, I'm going to go back to source and click again because now I want to eliminate this stuff here. So as you can see, I'm literally covering up, which that was like my couch or something. And then over here, the same thing. So anything that you want to cover up, and this is why it's like, even if you take the time real quick to put up even a sheet taped up on a wall that you guys tack up, you know, for the time being, obviously it's going to save you time from doing all of this. Pero no importa. So when you guys have your image as cleaned up as possible, obviously doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to put that grid on it anyways. But I wanted you guys to see what the stamping tool and the curve tool does. Another thing, I'm going to go back. Any questions so far?
No.
No? Okay. I'm going to go back to curves just because I'm going to lighten my face just a little bit, brighten it just a little bit. And again, I'm going to brighten it. I'm going to hit reverse, and then I'm going to paint in. You can change the brush strength here so it's not as harsh. I'm just going to bring that in. And then the same thing with lightening up down here a little bit. Again, I just lightened it to the extent that I wanted everything to kind of be almost the same color. And I'm painting in I'm even try to take off some of this. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna crop our picture at 4:6. So we're gonna hit the top left where it says the basic editing tools, and you're gonna hit crop. When you get when you get your picture where you need it. The pull down menu will give you some preset sizes. So you hit 4:6, and obviously preset sizes, you can put them wherever you want. 4:6, 5:7. And I'm basically going to crop it around here. I'm going to hit apply. How is everybody doing? Are you lost?
It's hard. No, it just takes a lot longer than I thought it would.
I know.
You got to get the hang of it. Yeah, this reminds me of Corel Draw.
Oh my goodness.
Corel Draw, I had to watch a video to learn that thing. It's so many different steps. But once you got the hang of it, it was awesome.
And that's why, like, I mean, I've been doing this with my kids' pictures and photo shoots for a while, but I love it, you know, because it's kind of like my creative outlet. Okay, anyone else that's ready to go, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to, after you cropped your picture at 4:6. I know a lot of you are still working on it, but if you go back to effects.
You go back to effects, okay.
And you scroll all the way to the top. When you keep scrolling, these are all filters that you could be using. When you have the Royal Now subscription, you have really cool filters like ombre, film stock kind of gives you that really crisp, like, you know, professional DSLR kind of picture, which actually I'll click right now just so you can see the difference. See, it kind of crisped it up.
Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah.
And then I'll hit apply, for example, and it just, basically, you can do it by yourself by hitting contrast and all that stuff, but you just click one filter and it does it for you already. It brightens it up, it changes the contrast, and it's done. We're going to hit black and white, okay? So everyone hit black and white and change your picture.
Okay, hold on. So how'd you get to 4:6? I'm sorry.
Okay, when you go to crop at the top, it's the very top basic editing tool.
Crop, okay.
First one, and then the pull down menu says 4:6 as one of the sizes.
Yeah, 4:6. Okay, and then I have to, but it doesn't, the 4:6 makes my pictures too long. I'm tall. Okay.
Makes your pictures too long.
My picture's long, like it's longer than a 4:6.
Oh, I know, but well, are you cropping off your head? You're gonna have to crop off your legs then.
I'm cropping off my legs, yes.
Okay.
Okay, then apply.
Yeah, like you can't see the
That's a
sneakers.
scale photo or no?
Eh? Say it again.
It's scale. It says, do I scale the photo or no?
No, no, no.
Okay.
No.
Apply. All right.
Ready? Okay. So then go to the effects and change your picture to black and white. Did everyone do that?
Where is effects again?
And
Effects is right over here. That looks like a little wand.
Got it.
Okay. Jacob. Jacob.
So in effects, how did you go to
Effects,
black and white?
scroll. You scroll up. There's going to be a tried and true set of, all the way at the top it says tried and true, and then right underneath that it says basic.
Oh, yes, basic. Okay. And then black and white.
Yeah.
Black and white.
Just black and white.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And hit apply and you're done. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, okay. So now that we have this, we're going to use the overlay. And now the overlay is really cool because I'm going to show you real quick. If you have, which I keep emphasizing, if you have, is it overlay? No, textures. We're going to use the overlay in a second, but I'm going to show you the textures. If you have a white background, you can then do cool things like, where is it? Like this, okay? And like this, and like this. We're not going to do this, but I'm just showing you. And you can add textures like my lovely brick that you guys have probably seen in my picture. And that, come on, like that, right? Obviously the brick is going over my face, right? So once again, right now, if I were to do this, I would start having myself reappear from behind the brick. Does everyone see that?
Oh.
So I'm erasing the brick from on top of my body. So it will soon, after I go and take the time, it will look like I'm in front of a brick wall. Does everyone see that? Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously you're going to adjust the brush size and do all that good stuff. And, you know, make sure that the brick is nowhere on your face. That'll take away the illusion that you're in front of a brick wall. And you're going to take the time to tediously erase every single part of the brick from your body. And you could do that with all these other effects as well. The purple effect, you know, all of that stuff. You can slowly start emerging yourself from, and it looks like you're in front of a cool background. We're not going to do that right now, but I wanted to quickly show you that that's how I did it. Again, it can only be done if you have a nice bright white background, because then you can put anything on it. So in this case, I'm going to hit cancel, so don't do that. We're going to go to what it is, to the overlay, which is the butterfly. We could do either one actually, but we'll just, should we do texture? Okay. In texture, let me try texture because now I don't know how I did it. In texture, you're going to go all the way at the top and click your own. All right? Did everyone do that? So from there, you're going to put open texture. And there, you're going to pick your multicolored grid. And you're going to put it on top. Ta-da! Okay? So now you have a multicolored grid on top. Now, that's super, super bright and you can't see me very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the fade of the grid accordingly to where I want it, where it's not totally crazy. And also, hold on a second, because my son is trying to get in. What happened? I'll read you the book in 10 minutes. I'm almost done. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Okay.
Hi.
You see everybody? Okay, so then now you adjusted the grid. Did everyone get their grid on top of their faces, on top of their bodies?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not yet. It's not that. It's that my background is so dark because I didn't do it right. I'm making it white now.
And then the grid, basically, if you hit on the left over here, see how it says effect or move? You can basically
Hi.
Hi.
a little bit to the left or to the right. You can flip it upside down. So whichever one like falls best. Falls best on your body. Like I kind of like this where the green is over the weights and my face isn't totally obstructed.
Oh, okay.
TV for it. TV for it.
Okay, so now that you're done with that, if you're done with that, you're gonna hit apply. And what I want you to do at this point, because I've tried to put font at this level, and I hate it because the overlay keeps getting selected and I can't adjust my font. So this is a key thing. Right up here where it says combine all image elements. When you're happy, because now you can't go back, when you're happy with what it is, oh, why isn't it letting me? Oh, because maybe this is a different overlay. Oh, I know why. Well, if I would have done it in overlay over here instead of texture, it would have kept selecting it over and over again, and that was annoying. So I guess I don't have to do that when it comes to texture. So now, basically, we're going to put in our text. And our text over here is the TT tool. You put add text, and you start writing. So I'm going to write, what am I writing? So here, if you can see, I don't know if you guys can see, I just did a little grid, and I just kind of wrote down. You can draw on that one. So I did a little quick thing of what I wanted it to say. Can everyone see that? So then basically I'm going to start with join me on a 21-day fitness challenge. Yeah, you got to be quiet, Poppy. And then this again has a pop-up menu. Okay. What I was telling you about the dropper tool, I'm going to leave it in white, but what I was telling you about the dropper tool, when you select all of your text, this area right here, do you see where my arrow is? Instead of picking a color from here randomly, if I went right here, that's going to give me a dropper. And that dropper will match whatever color from any place on your image, okay? And change your font color to the exact color. So let's say I wanted the color of the gray in my hair, whatever. Okay, it's basically going to pick up the color from anywhere in your image. I want this purple, for example, and then now it's purple. I don't want purple, but if I did, so what I was telling you, when you want to pick out a font, let's say you're wearing a bright colored shirt or something like that, or, you know, pop an accent color in any one of your pictures, you can actually change your font to match that exact color, like to the T. However, I just want it to be white. And here you're going to adjust your size. Another thing that I want to show you is whatever size of this box is where it's going to fit. So if I put the box like this, it'll start adjusting it to fit into that box. So let's say I'm going to put this right by my head. And then now you're going to have fun and you're going to be able to pick all the cool different fonts that you like. I don't know if this appears on you guys, but you also have ours, which is all the fonts that they provide, and yours. So any fonts that are on your computer right now, it'll pick up. Do you guys see that? Ours and yours. So I'm just going to pick my Century Gothic from my personal fonts. It's kind of just a tried and true. It's a nice clean line font for me. And I'm going to leave that right there.
Yeah!
Wow.
Circle.
And it's a little bit too close to my forehead, so I'm going to adjust it just a little bit more.
Circle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then here I'm going to do something kind of cool. I'm going to put 11 0215. This is your justification. You're going to justify to the left, you're going to justify center, or you're going to justify to the right, just like, you know, in Word or anything like that. And that's important. I like it because if I would be putting this same thing on the right side of my head, I would justify it to the right, so everything lines up on the right-hand side. And then again, I'm going to change the font over here. I'm just getting the dropper and I'm picking up the, oh, by the way, you could pick up the white anywhere on your, the dropper will pick up a color anywhere on your entire screen too, not just on your image. Be careful, Papi.
Okay.
Uh-oh. So here you go. I'm going to put the date, starting date there. And then I'm going to add one last one before I add my email. Hot for the holidays.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to match. I'm only going to use 2 font types. I'm not going to go crazy. So the font type that I'm using, the more fun one is going to be for, you know, for obviously the header right here, the title. I don't like that date there. And then no. No, that's Jacob's book. Only color on the paper.
No.
Another thing, this is real quick. If you right click right here, I'm going to right click on join me.
Right here?
When you right click, it's going to duplicate that text box. So let's say you don't want to go searching again for the searching again.
Right here?
Poppy. Yes, you can. No, don't right there.
On paper?
Yes, on the paper. Let's say I didn't want to go ahead and go through the trouble of finding the same text or whatever, and I just want to repeat it. I'm going to right click here, and I'm going to go to duplicate text. And basically, because I want that same font to use for my email address.
Yes. Alpha. I only need a paper.
No.
No.
And then I'm going to expand that all the way to the bottom. And yeah. How are you guys doing?
Right here.
Las dejé calladas.
We're all working. We're working diligently. Hey, Letty, feel free to fix all my ads if you like. It's awesome.
Did you? Oh, you didn't see the Christmas one?
I didn't see the. Oh, you fixed that Christmas one. I'm excited.
No, not Christmas. Sorry, Halloween. Look.
No, I didn't. Hold on, wait. My computer's getting. Let me look. There's no look. I see your Picmonkey thing.
No.
Oh my God, how cute! Can you send that to me?
Yes. You missed my thing, but I was basically saying you can recycle. Oh, he wants to show you his drawing.
Oh, I love it. It's so awesome.
Yes. I basically, what my point was that you can recycle pictures you've taken. Ta-da! Thank you. 1 second. That you can recycle pictures you've taken. Ta-da! 5 more minutes. That you can recycle old pictures and use them again for later dates for other things. So I recycled your September picture and now you can use it for Halloween.
Oh my God, that's so awesome.
And all that was Picmonkey with, they have a comic. Oh, this is where I wanted to show you guys. While you guys are
The
working,
comic book thing.
here at the very bottom where the cat is, if you guys could see where my mouse is, themes. This is awesome for the holidays. Look at all this cool stuff. Okay? It has
So cool.
vampire stuff. It has effects for vampires. You can add blood splatters to your Halloween stuff. You can have all these cool filters that you can't find on the other on this effects. These like give you this like macabre kind of like Dracula kind of look. You can add bats. You can add moons. You can. This is a really cool font, like very spooky font. Then they have a bunch of stuff. Winter Wonderland, when Christmas starts coming up. They have really cool stuff under School U, which has a lot of like school type things. But what I did with yours was here under Comic Heroes. And the Comic Heroes has really cool things that say like boom, zap, all this.
Oh, like the Batman.
Right. And then the narration boxes here, meanwhile, later on, all that cool stuff. But it's already done for you. It has a bunch of hero shields. And that's where I got the masks for you. I got them right here. They have Captain America mask. So I put all the masks on you guys. And then obviously all the superhero fonts. Okay, Papa. Last year my son was Superman and Dylan was a dragon, but I made him Godzilla. So on all my stuff, I used all the superhero stuff and I made it like Superman versus Godzilla.
Oh, so cute.
You're welcome. Don't write in the book. Questions, guys? I know that you guys are struggling.
No, we're struggling. We're trying to work.
Letty, how did you get that background into this?
This one?
Yeah, how did you get that there?
The colored grid.
Uh-huh.
When you come over here to textures, you could do it two ways: overlays or textures. So under textures, you go to your own right here, and then it gives you the option to open your own texture and pull it from your computer here. So I grabbed it from here.
Got it.
Now,
So do you fade it? Can I erase?
Right. So then since it's super bright, you hit fade and you make it go as light as you want it. So then obviously you're not overwhelming the picture of you. You want it just to be like a tint.
Right.
Like in the sample rock one that I had sent you guys. Another thing that I like to do.
See, but you know what's like?
Okay.
Can you move the texture grid over? Because like, see the way that your texture grid comes up for you, like that that pink square for me is in the dead center of my chest.
Right. So that's where you're going to hit move over here. Look where it says move on the left.
Aha! Thank you.
Move allows you to flip it up and down, horizontally, vertically, horizontally. It lets you adjust it a little bit. It lets you, and if you do it, if you bring it in as an overlay, you can actually make it bigger or smaller. So you can also adjust it that way. If it's not working for you, you can take it out and bring it in as under overlay. And an overlay, you can make it, expand it, and kind of move the squares around that way so they don't fall on your face.
Okay. All right. All right.
Papi.
We got more playing to do.
Oh.
I actually have to go put my son to bed.
All right.
Okay. Daddy's trying, but it's being very unsuccessful. Okay. I like it.
But you guys play around with all. That's all I could say is just play around. Try and just pick out a really good image, and don't think that just because your image was, you know, a little bit too dark. As you can see, just with the curve tool, you can line up. And sometimes, let's say there's a shadow casting on my face, but it's super bright outside. For example, I'm in complete daylight. Everything looks awesome, but it just so happened that there was a shadow on my face. With the curve tool, I can brighten just my face, you know, my face and my chest. Let's say, like, whatever, I was sitting in a place that, you know, basically my face was much darker, or only half of my face was a lot darker than the rest of my face. So just with the curve tool, you can spot brighten. Don't, Jacob's sleeping. Jacob's sleeping. Don't go to Jacob's room. Okay. Come here, puppy. Here. Ay, mira, y me quedé con my Shakeology half drink.
You film?
Yeah, Papa, here.
Woo! Thank you, Mommy.
So another thing that I do while you guys are working, I also randomly, I'll go on Google Images and I'll put, you know, hot pink background or whatever. Like if I want like a cool wackadoodle, you know, background, you could put like hippie background, depending on, again, like the theme that you want to evoke. And you could do the same thing. You can do the same. Oh, that's loud. You could do this exact same thing, but obviously you're not going to do it like this. You're going to do it the opposite, like how I showed you with the brick. You're going to have you in front. So with you, when you're in front, you're going to erase that background off of your face and off of your body, like how I showed you with the brick. And you're going to exact same way.
Super.
How did you erase us off the that part I missed? I saw you do it and I couldn't find it.
Let me open up another one so I can show you. Hold on.
I gotta do this again.
Oh, and I just wanted to quickly show you guys here. I have everything saved I have my logos. Like, just try and start. And if you haven't done it yet, I know that you guys have all your scripts and everything somewhere, but this is like your fun stuff. So again, pictures from the past that you want to edit, you know, when you have a chance, and, you know, and on a Sunday afternoon and you just want to sit on the couch and editing some pictures, start storing them in a folder. These are, you know, where did all my logos go? Oh, because it's saved. These are different things like my containers. I just went on Google and I actually put, you know, just the containers. Here's your 3-day refresh over here. Then I also have sample ads that I liked how they laid stuff out. Start collecting sample ads that you see other, you know, other Beachbody coaches. Start making
I have a lot of those.
it. So then when you need to come up with an ad, I mean, obviously you guys aren't like, you may be acting as art directors, but obviously you're not art directors by trade, so you don't have to reinvent a wheel. If you like how a layout looks, just kind of imitate it and pop in your own. But you need those examples, and that, as we call it in the design world, inspiration. You're not copying, it's inspiration. So get inspired and kind of see if you can mimic. I wanted to go back to PowerPoint while you guys are doing that, and I just wanted to show you other examples here. This is what I did with Christina's picture as well. I took off her background. She was in her garage, and I took out the background. I did the same thing. I brought her in as an overlay, and with the overlay, I actually have the ability to be able to, let me move this over here. The ability to be able to erase everything around. So just how I was erasing the brick off of my face, well, you're going to do the same thing, but the opposite. I was erasing all of this stuff. And then I just basically added a background to the same white. And then here's another example. I went on, and move it again. I went on to Pinterest and I just put ad layouts. Okay. So if you guys are in need of actually trying to come up with, you know, cool format, a cool layout, you know, the cool composition for your ads, just type in ad layouts under design, you know, in Pinterest, and save a folder for your promos. So every single time you see, and just literally, you know, name it promotional material, whatever you want, promotional examples, ad examples, and then basically draw from that. I mean, this chick right here, you could just, that exact ad, you could build it on Picmonkey, but just pop in a picture of you doing a workout pose, you know, one of the many workout poses that you're going to save and take pictures of yourself in really cool places, right? So you just pop a picture of yourself in that workout pose, pop in some cool, you know, shapes with your names, with your message. Again, this is a tight color palette. It's just gray and yellow. It pops, and mimic, try and recreate that. Where is my thing? Images. Oops. And under collage, guys, I just wanted to quickly cover while you guys are doing that. I don't know, let me go here to, what are you doing, puppy? Oh, say hi to Daddy.
Hi, Daddy.
Okay, I'm just gonna pick these three things just because
Hello?
they all make sense in their interior.
Yeah? Yeah, Daddy. Hi.
Okay, so I popped in under collages. When you click collage, it'll ask you to select the picture that you want in the collage. You can keep adding more pictures here under open photos.
Hi, Daddy.
So I'm just gonna put in, and what's cool about it is that it has tons of layouts. So it has all of these different layouts. It even has this one. This is the one that I was telling you, Rachel, with the Facebook cover. Did you finally find it? Yeah. So here it'll actually give you the, it'll give you the proportion already. So all you have to do, so you don't have to figure out the proportion for your cover. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll come down. Okay, bye. I locked my husband out. So entonces this one you would just be able to pop in whatever images that you want for your Facebook cover, and you don't have to worry about the resolution because it's already there. Obviously it's for, you know, when you're looking at it on a computer and not on a phone, but still at least the proportion and the size is already there. And any one of these things that you're popping in, you go back to images and you're going to pop them in. If you don't have enough to fill, you can exit out right here. Okay, so when you exit out, it'll basically just give you 3 images. So you don't have to use all the ones that they gave you. When you go over here to the painting palette, that's where you're gonna adjust the spacing, like I told you. Don't forget about the spacing. You don't want it to be too much. You can actually take it away completely and be clean and sleek like this. But if you do leave a little bit of spacing, once again, you have that dropper tool. So you don't have to just randomly pick colors like this. You can actually get your dropper tool, and if I want that exact charcoal gray that's back there on that console table, I just picked it out, and now I changed that border to that exact same gray. Once again, if I want that one tiny pop of red that's over here in the backdrop, it'll give me that one pop of red back there. And what is the swatches? Oh, yeah. What is the swatches for? The swatches is cool because you can actually, like I told you, you can leave one of the squares just for text. But instead of just leaving it a solid color, it gives you some cool textures that you can actually pop in and use that as a background for your text. I'll be right back. Let me open the garage door for me.
I'm Molly. Bye.
Hi.
Molly water.
Does anyone have any other effects that they were curious about? Yes? Is everyone good? Okay, guys. Well, practice, experiment, and for the most part, like I told you, start collecting some cool images of you guys anywhere, but in cool backdrops, cool stuff like that that you can use. I wanted to show you one last. I have no idea how to move this thing now. There you go. An example of what I was talking about was this. So this one, for example, I don't know if you guys saw it or not. Can you guys see that one? So that was just basically, I did it with the tripod. I literally pulled over in a park next to my car. The kids were still in the car. I pulled right next to this nice little grassy green area. I got my tripod. I set it up on the hood of the car. I ran outside, I took the pose, and I went home. And it was on the way home from picking my kid from school. And I did it. I admittedly had to take like 10 shots because my form was awful. And I realized how awful I am at yoga. But I adjusted it a little bit. I took it again. I was like, okay, finally, at least it looks a little decent. It looks like I somewhat know what I'm doing. And then I added like a little motivational saying. Another thing that I've been doing lately is that I, instead of going and basically to Pinterest and getting a motivational quote, whatever I want to, whatever message I want to say, there's a quote out there for it. So as opposed to finding the quote first and then trying to match up the image to it, I see like what the image is. I try and see, so I'll, whatever, whether it be, take a moment and relax or meditate or any one of those things that you want to say, I'll literally put that quote for, slowing down, or quote for, relaxation or something like that. And it'll pop up obviously in Google, like a gazillion quotes. I'll just copy and paste it into any one of my editing things, and I'll add right here or right here probably the quote that I want to actually match the picture. But I'll keep that picture there for a day that obviously I didn't do anything fun and I maybe didn't even work out that day. So at least I have something that I can actually use to post when I really, am not very active that day. And that's about it. I have to put my son to sleep too. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Lani. This was awesome, really. It was very informative.
Sorry it ran a little long, but it could go on and on forever. Imagínate with how much information and how much stuff there is.
No, yeah, of course. I think it's a matter of playing around with it.
Thank you. So good luck. And I can't wait to start seeing all of your new improved promotional ads from now on. Okay, mamas?
Thank you, Letty. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you. Bye. I wish I knew how to close this.